Hey there, and welcome to the run of Lands of Thor 2 Guardians of Destiny. First thing we do, we pick up the first stalagmite and skip all the cutscenes. During my normal playthrough I did not know that you are able to skip cutscenes, so I always watched all of them, which took quite some time, but yeah, speedrun taught me that you can skip the cutscenes, the more you know. Anyway, why are we collecting the stalagmites? We need 3 of those for the very last dungeon in the, or very last area of the game, and to proceed faster and not getting killed by imps and stuff like that. We transformed to the lizard at the very beginning. The transformation there is more or less a coin flip, as far as I know. Personally, it feels that you get the beast more often than not. However, yeah, jumping down there sometimes also changes you to the lizard again. In 90% of the time you get the monster, but the lizard is obviously faster. For the very first transformation, you want to force a lizard, basically. So if you start the run and get the monster, you automatically restart them. And I mean, it's no problem whatsoever, because the run there is like 20 seconds long, so restarting there isn't an issue whatsoever. However, you want to get the lizard there, otherwise you... Yeah, best thing, we don't see the monster at all in this run. Here we need to wait until the skeleton thingy drops the sword on the table, and then we get a little bit of defense with the chain shirt, and 2 stones that increase your HP, strength, and all your attributes more or less. Yeah, unfortunately I did not get the skeleton key. That little triangle thing is a skeleton key straight away. By the way, we're in a secret area more or less, so for your normal playthrough you might have missed this whole location here. Yeah, next thing we get is the axe of the long arm. Very useful weapon. It's not the strongest weapon you can get, however this weapon is especially useful for the speedrun, because with this weapon, or any throwing weapon that returns to Luther, you're able to skip some... do some out of bounds skips, kinda. But we'll see more of that later. Coming back to the stones that we picked up, the amberish, greenish ones that increase your strength and also your HP temporarily. This is really important for a fight against the savage jungle tribe. Otherwise, you won't survive the attacks of them, because I think I will explain it when we are there. Actually, we just get. We got in here to get 3 things, more or less. The axe of the long arm, the 2 ivory stones, which are needed for the second to last area of the game. Otherwise you need to find those 2 ivory stones in the ancient city, and if you bring them from this secret area straight away, then you don't need to get those 2, which saves a lot of time, because getting them there is way faster, and also you need the axe nonetheless. Here we talk to this group of Yulin. I almost said bitches. Cat ladies. Otherwise we will get stuck on the way back, and now we're more or less pointing at this brownish pixel, elongated pixel thingy. Throw the axe through there, pressing forward and strafe to the left, and after like half a second release those buttons, and then you somehow glitch through this wall and skip the whole spider killing thing. To get into the village, basically. Here we attack Bakada, because talking to him takes way too long, and that's the first time I got stuck in between those bushes, which is really weird, because this never happened to me. So yeah, thankfully I saved right before that. But well, attacking Bakada here solves one problem. We talk to him more or less, so the story can progress. Otherwise, the story won't progress and we can't go to the Savage Jungle. However, as we attacked him, he is now hostile to us, which means to not get the bad ending, or rather the evil Luther ending, we somehow need to reconciliate with him, become buddies again, and there is one chance, and therefore we pick up this green leaf right here to give him right in front of the spire, or how is it called, the citadel. There he is a little bit beaten up, and if you give him some healing items, he will be really thankful, and your best buddies again. Yeah. What I was not able to talk about is first thing we did after we clipped into the Hulin village is we attacked the guard, the personal guard of the mayor, I guess the other guy is. You can start the dialogue with him, which means he will die faster, because during the animation where he draws his sword, he won't take damage until like halfway point or so. However, you get the XP by through attacking him. So we gained some more fighter levels by attacking him before triggering the dialogue, basically. Technically, it would be faster to kill him the other way, talking to him, attacking during his speech, and so he will take immediate damage. However, then you will lack some fighter levels, and the other boss fights will take longer. Now we are skipping the whole part where you need to get the flute, talk to the elder, which we already killed for his ancient stones, get the flute from the monks. We just line up somewhere around here, jump forward, again forward and left strafe until we hit the wall. Release those two buttons and attack the wall until you take the 8th time damage, and after you took the 8th time damage you press forward and strafe left again, and you should most likely land there. Unfortunately, I have too little mana here. I really don't know why, because as far as I know I didn't spend that much mana, but I think I was a little bit too fast there, so so the mana regeneration wasn't as far as it should be. Yeah, I I took the healing myself, because the HP is rather low here, and the spiders are quite difficult opponents, because we shouldn't be here at this low level, and a couple of hits of them would kill us probably. Thankfully, this spider did not block the path. This is one of the randomness in this run, where some enemies can plain and simply block your way through. But yeah, good luck this time. Yeah, the other thing is, right in front, before I casted the bluish aura, which reduces damage by 50% as far as I know. With that you will survive being at full HP. The fireball down there. However, you could trigger the fireball by moving forward and moving back, but I thought that my mana would be full faster, or that I had enough mana for the second level spell of the healing pearl, that I thought waiting would be faster. Technically, triggering the trap, moving back and then forward would have been faster, but yeah, those are some decisions that I still need to learn a bit better about this run. So, what did we do? Well, we skipped a lot of stuff. Thankfully, as long as you bring the wax with the imprinted scripts up here, the dawn will show up. No matter if you talk to her or not, and you don't need to talk to the monastery guy. So yeah, the only trigger that sets if or places dawn there is having the wax with the imprints in your inventory. If you would be hostile to her beforehand, she would talk to you in front of the exit where the two spiders were. Anyway, I also thought maybe you can save some time, because now we need to go to this monastery, talk to her. We get the dampening spell, which is really useful, because now we can not really control what we are turning into, but prevent turning into something else. At at least if you have enough mana for that. The other reason why we get here and talk to her is because if we don't talk to her, the story won't progress and you're stuck there. Therefore, I also tried to attack her right in front of the cave after not giving her the wax imprint basically, but attacking her straight away, which would save the trip to the monastery. Unfortunately, this would not progress the story whatsoever, and as we already killed the the village oldest or mayor or whoever that guy is, we are soft locked because we can't talk to the monastery guy, because this is only unlocked once you talked to the older of the Hulin, and that guy is dead. So yeah, the only way to progress here is talking to Dawn. The fastest way here as well is plain and simply running away from them. Technically the fastest way would be casting a level 5 spell, an ancient spell of Blizzard. However, the way the route is routed is that every ancient stone we pick up we need to have for the last fighters also. Yeah, we after getting here we immediately attack the savage Hulans, because we don't have the dagger from his mother basically. Next thing to progress the story more or less is visiting the Huline temple. Once we... Normally there should be as far as I know, there should be a cutscene there, but I'm not quite sure if I just plain and simply skipped it or if I always skip it or it happens later. Anyway, a little bit of confusion of the path. I always get confused in this part of the woods, more or less. Yeah, and here we once again straight away attack the savage guys. We need to target with... First of all, he's too far away for a melee attack, and if we normal attacked him with the ranged attack, the torch right next to him would block the attack. We use the other stone that increases our HP and also our damage, and now we cast the ancient spell for healing, so we out-heal the damage we take together with the stone that we took. 3 casts of the ancient blizzard spell, and as you can see, after that, keep on healing your HP because somehow 2 things are happening. One of the spells should be still there hitting you afterwards, and once that the stone ability ends, your HP will be reduced by 20%, and if you're in the HP range of 20%, you will instantly die. So it's not that your maximum HP will be reduced by 20%, but also your current HP will be reduced by 20%, which can kill you. Yeah, don't ask me how I figured that out. Died there a couple of times. After we defeated those Huline...
I wonder if I should have done that.
Yeah, after we defeated those Huline warriors, we snatched the 2 items from their oldest. First of all, to get to her stash, the only way, as we killed the whole savage tribe, more or less, except for those 2 who are hanging around here and throwing daggers at us. I think I messed up here big time, right? Yeah, I ran over there, which was wrong turn once again, and there is a forced, 2 forced transformation back to Luther twice in a row. For the first one I had enough mana, but for the second one I did not. And yeah, basically it's faster to reload this part here and just take the correct route. A lot of damage there. Thankfully, turning into the lizard or turning back to Luther or to the monster will automatically reset your full HP. So yeah, no problem there. So if you have the possibility, always take damage right before you transform, because you will get healed anyway. Yeah, next part is entering the ruins, but I don't know how the species is called down there. Anyway, the way down there is a little bit tricky for me with the lizard, because you can't really see where it's jumping to, and if you're moving at full speed, then it's hard to break or stop the lizard. Normally you should build the bridge here, so magic bridge. However, you can jump over there and the lizard just survives the jump, which is good. And now we are at the cemetery. First of all, we activated the teleporter for the cemetery, and also we are at the cemetery right now because now we basically skipped the way to the cemetery, the normal way that you move to the cemetery. Is it called cemetery? Graveyard? I don't know. You skip the normal way to the graveyard, and you already have the teleporter activated, which will be used quite a lot. Whoever played this game casually probably remembers this part with all the glass globes, or orbs, how I call them, and how confusing and yeah, really confusing this part is, because there are more or less 3 parts or 3 levels connected with each other where I need to travel to add some magic to those orbs, and yeah, quite confusing. And if you don't know where all the stuff is, it's yeah. I struggled a lot for my first casual playthrough. Okay, then here, yeah, we used the teleporter to get back here. Here is actually the first orb transformator you need. You need 2 of those. Basically, you only need the blue and we collected the white crystal here. You only need the white and the blue crystal to open doors, if you work the perfect path. And you need the yellow, white and blue for the very final door to the kinda, I don't know how the guy is called. Yeah, now another problem. Sometimes bosses or enemies are stuck in their talking animation, and this is what happened there. And normally I always know which ones, yeah, where this can happen. I was not aware that that guy could also freeze, so I didn't auto quick save right in front of him, which cost about, I think, 30 seconds are lost here for this mistake, or yeah, bug. There are several fights, especially before every Hive Lord or Belial clone you should save, because this could happen to them as well. It never happened to Belial though. Huh. I guess, well, Belial has a dialogue right before his battle as well, so maybe Belial you should save before killing Belial as well. So, now that we have 2 of the white orbs, we can open the first crypt. Technically you could open more crypts with the white orbs, but all you get is either some items and also always an orb. So whenever you use the orb for a quote-unquote wrong crypt, you will always get a orb as well, so you can't get stuck. It is technically impossible to get stuck here, if you know where all the orbs are. Yeah, we opened this crypt, used a lever to open the crypt on the other side, rolled a barrel down there, and used the spark spell to explode all the oil that we spilled all over this crypt. This is the first time that I actually want to turn back to Luther, because up until this point we only can stop the transformation but cannot force the transformation. And yeah, because the lizard cannot jump over the barricades. Well, he could jump over the first barricade, but you can't jump over this one. Therefore you need to be Luther. Also the monster can't jump over it, so yeah. So we take the transformation to Luther to be able to jump over this barricade. Yeah, that was the wrong turn. Ay ay ay. Also this run still has a lot of improvements. But for now I'm quite happy. I remember. I was a little bit frustrated here because I didn't. The light through the window pointed straight at my screen, and because this part is so dark, I hardly could see where the walls began and where I'm at. But yeah, it is how it is. Now we gained. First of all, we gained 2 of the blue orbs and 1 again a wrong turn. Ay ay ay. I can't blame that one on the on the lights from the window because this should be quite simple and easy. Anyway, we got 2 blue orbs opening the last script. Also one of them we need to open the next script, and we also have the yellow orb now, so we have all 3 colors for the very last script. Over here we collect some more of the ancient stones. I think we should have 6 or 5, nah 5 charges of ancient stones right now. If you would hover with your mouse over the magic symbol, you can the red number will appear and it shows you how many ancient stones charges you still have left. Same goes. Same also works for if you use poison on your weapons and stuff like that. Just information you might not have known if you played the game casually. So, next part is quite tricky for me at least. The movement with the lizard is rather difficult, and this is probably, for me, the hardest part. This jump is actually straightforward, quite easy. However, this jump is really precise. I tried to line it up that I... Ooh, that took long. Kinda line it up between those 2 greenish barriers. Run forward and press jump at guesstimated timing. And yeah, wow, second try. And moving the mouse to the right. There are, on the structures, there are 2 white spots, which should look like stone, and you want to aim to the right stone, more or less. However, you have like a split-second time for that, so it's more a muscle memory thing than actually aiming. Here, once again, we want to turn back to Luther because the lizard is not able to move the corpse in the next room. The other guy told us, well, I want to rest in peace, so please bring my remains to me. He gave us the urn, and we will incinerate his corpse. Is this the right word? Cremate? I don't know. Ah, duh. I was not aware that if you if you target the same pillar twice, that it also counts. This is the first time this happened to me. But yeah, the more you know. Next time I know that I don't need to turn to the other one. I'm not sure if it works for both pillars, but I guess so. Yeah, again, some unnecessary time loss. Difficult lizard movement part 2. Now we need to get back. The way back is a little bit easier. However, sometimes, especially on this small path, when the lizard is running, the game thinks you're mid-air, even though you're floating up above the ground, and therefore you can't jump. So, right in front of the bridge, sometimes your jumping button is disabled. Once again, a line up and jump around the corner. You don't need to. I think in this try you see that you can actually clip through the wall quite easily. So yeah, technically this jump is not that hard. However, I messed it up twice in a row, so yeah. Preventing the transformation once again. And bringing the ashes to the poor old Draconian guy, I think they're called. I'm not quite sure. He promised us that we get the silver leaf, because we need the silver leaf and the red potion that we got by killing the savage tribe like 10 minutes ago. but after we bring him his ashes and he finally can rest, he just says, well, hey, here you go, here's the Ankh, now you can talk to our master and chieftain, and he knows where the silver leaf is. So, yeah. And to open the crypt to him, we need all 3 different colors of those orbs and the Ankh that we just got from the other guy. Obviously, this guy won't just say, well, hey, thanks for helping the other dude. Here you go, you get the silver leaf. He also has a fetch quest, more or less, for us. He gives us his bones, his remains, and tells us, well, there is a monster in the ruins down there, which you can actually encounter if you walk to it straight away, which does not kill you, at least for the first time you enter the room. It just uses a spell to... or water. Water hose, more or less, to expel you from the room. And he wants to defeat this this monster to be killed, and therefore he gives us his remains so we can bring this. Oh no, I messed up this jump. Very bad. He gives us his remains to let him summon the spirit of Belial to the Belial statue, so that the Belial statue can kill that worm. Yeah, the fight between those two is actually quite nice to watch. The cinematics for this game are really great for the time, so if you have the possibility to play this game, I really can recommend it. It's, first of all, it's really interesting game-wise. It has really cool features. Unfortunately, it's a little bit confusing for the maps. However, you have the top-down map to orientate yourself, so this helps a bunch. The system with the spells and the attacks is really great, I think, for the time, and also it still keeps up very well. And the graphics of the cutscenes are awesome. So, yeah. We brought his remains to the Belial statue. The Belial statue is now on the way. Normally you should walk together with the Belial statue to this part. However, if you enter the room of the worm, the cutscene automatically starts. And you skip the whole waiting time for the Belial statue to arrive to this place. Now the whole thing is flooding. We again use the second weapon, which can be thrown and when it returns to the owner. The dagger of the empty hand is called. And with that we can clip through the wall there. Unfortunately that wasn't that fast. Also I fall down in this hole. Man, is this bad. You need to fetch a door frame or I don't know what it actually is, some kind of wooden structure, and jump on it, and once you're on it, it takes like, I don't know, 3 seconds and the game will fade to black and transition to the other part. You can reach it from beneath there, however it's so finicky and trial and error more or less to get it down there that for me, normally it's faster to run up to this point and move it down. So yeah, that's what I did. Unfortunately I dropped it to a hole where I can't get out of. Yeah, Dawn still trying to help us with our curse. I mean, basically I skipped the whole story of the game. Why we are doing it, what is happening to Luther, the guy, but well, now it's too late anyway. Now that we have the combination of the silver leaf and the tonic, I don't know how the other thing is called, we have a special... we're getting the silver leaf now. That's right, I was a little bit ahead of myself. Anyway, if we get the silver leaf and the tonic, we combine it to some kind of potion we can use for a purple worm. These monsters also existed in the first game, Lands of Lore 1, Throne of Chaos I think it's called. And yeah, we get a couple more. Technically, we only need 2. One for the potion and one for the second to last area of the game again. So we don't have to pick it up there. So I lost my train of thought. Ah, yeah, the purple one. That also was a difficult monster, which could only be defeated or killed in a specific way for the first game. In this game we need the potion to not kill it, but put it to sleep. And after we return, it's gone. So probably it died. I don't know what happened to it, but yeah. Normally you should not just plain and simply jump down there. However, you can survive if you don't jump. I mean, you could jump, then you have even less HP, and that monster could kill you. And normally you should push over a part of a tree, so you can turn into the lizard form to yeah, walk through the tree, through the bugs.
Too far.
Ah, damn it. Yeah, there. In this place I messed up my splits, so I needed to tap out of the game and fix those, unfortunately. Ice physics. Boy, do I hate those ice physics. Thankfully I don't drop the ball there. I really don't want to state how often I fell down this ice bridge. Incredibly weird, those ice physics. Technically you can always prevent your sliding movement by jumping. However, your movement will and your velocity will continue on in a straight way where you land. So if you overshoot or undershoot a little bit, then you're going full speed to the other side. Yeah, a little bit finicky. Ice physics. I hated them in every game. Yeah, this guy, never mentioned him. He is kind of important, or is a important-ish part of the game, casual-wise. But yeah, we don't mention him in the speedrun. But he died, and I messed up pressing the jump button. Next, we will find Bakata. And because we attacked him and he's a little bit angry at us, we're giving the healing item, because he is wounded right now by the Ruloi, I think they are called. Forced transformation, you can't even stop it because you need to have the dialogue with Bakata. Skipping the dialogue, Bakata says, well, thank you, Luther, please take care of Dawn. Dawn is imprisoned in the Citadel, by the way. And normally I always state, de nada, Bakata. You should, or you could, actually you should free Dawn in this prison. However, you first need to kill the boss of this area, the first Hive Lord you encounter, and then you get the Moonstone, the only reason why you're here actually. Because you need the Moonstone to enter the Huline Temple. The third thing that we did in CD2 was trying to get to the Huline Temple, but this was closed. All the stuff, basically like 20 minutes of the game, are up at this point only to get the Moonstone, the Dreamstone, to open the Huline Temple. Unfortunately, there's no possibility to glitch into the Huline Temple. Otherwise, you could skip even more gameplay. Yeah. For this part, normally you activate an elevator, some kind of elevator stairs, more or less. You activate the bridge and you activate the force field of the door. However, we skipped the stairs by running across against this corner, looking a little bit to the left, pressing forward and attacking with our dagger, and moving for at least for me, I move my cursor a little bit to the I turn Luther a little bit to the left and to the right, and normally this should work quite fine. For this battle we use the level 5 ancient spell of the death spells, I guess I could call them, which turns Luther into the Lich, as you can see from his portrait, from his picture, which makes him invincible. You can still attack, and he sporadically casts some other death spells on the enemy, which is really strong, and you can't die, which is good because we are under leveled as fuck. Alright. Next part is interesting because we need to get back where we came from. We can't use the broken bridge we used to traverse here because it's collapsed and we plain and simply jumped over there. So we need to get somehow over the river. Normally there's one big ice thingy floating in the water. Ah, it's right there actually. You should travel on. However, if you drown in this river, and only if you drown in this river, you can quick save and it will reset your drowning status a little bit. That skip is rather easy, but sometimes it takes a couple of tries to get it. So basically you align yourself for this corner more or less, where you have the slope, run to it. Before you come to the slope, jump once and press forward and strafe to left, and you should get close to the top, and at the top you need to press the jump button a couple of times until the lizard is able to jump over to the top. So this skips not much. There is other possibility, some platforming you need to do to get to the top. However, this is way faster, and also the platforming is not the strong part of the game. Let's put it that way. And yeah, we have the Dreamstone. We did not free Dawn. However, she managed to free herself anyway, so yeah, that's great. We are not in conflict with Dawn, so she's not angry at us, so she's still fine with us because we didn't encounter her, so we never knew that she was actually trapped in the Citadel. Otherwise, if you would have enraged her somehow, because by attacking her or something like that, you could reconciliate with her by opening her cell, and then she would be fine again with you. So basically there are two possibilities where you can, or more, there are three possibilities to get the evil ending. Either always attack Pakada, so he's angry at you, but then you need to kill the Belial statue yourself. Or you attack Dawn, then you need to kill Dawn before the final boss, or you attack both, basically. So those are the three ways to get the evil ending. Next, we skip the whole Uline dungeon, more or less, or Uline temple. Only the 3 trials at the end. Also, this puzzle that we skip is one of the most convoluted things I've ever seen in a video game. But yeah, aligning yourself there, putting the dream orb kind of in the middle of the eye of the texture, and pressing forward and strafe left, attack once, release forward but still strafe left, attack a second time, and then you should get through. Yeah, and then here we are at the 4 trials to get the 3 Uline statues, which we need to progress to the City of the Ancients. So here is not much to say. Normally there are some switches you can find by moving along those pillars, and activating the switches will raise some more platforming stuff, so you can traverse this part. However, with some tight jumps you can also traverse this part, so no need to activate the switches. This part is quite nice. Normally it's a balancing thing, great idea. There are 4 switches, 2 on this side and 2 on the other side. Normally you should either attack those other monsters, that more of the monsters are on the opposite side, so that it will flip or pivot to the other side, so you can press the other buttons. However, if you press both buttons twice, it's also solved, so it can unfortunately prevent the whole riddle by pressing the buttons twice. For this trial, normally you should use the death spell on the faces, which will remove the fire so you can pass through, but we used the shield spell and just jumping through the fire and taking some damage, and then we're fine. And also there are 3 buttons in this room, however you only need to press the middle and the far right one, because the middle one raises the stairs, the far right one lowers the bridge, and the left one doesn't do shit. Here you should also have found a flute downstairs, however as the lizard you can almost drown through that part and don't take that much damage. Here you should either be on the left or to the right side, because in the middle there's a platform that will activate a boulder trap. The same one we encountered at the very first 5 minutes of the game, I guess. And yeah, putting the 5... Oh, damn it. This is so finicky. I really don't know where the trigger is to putting them in there. Sometimes I try to point at the... point at the little podest thingies, but this doesn't seem to work all the time. Yeah. Anyway. I need to look into where the exact spot is to put those figurines into. And here is the most boring part of the game, which I'm a little bit thankful of, because this is the only part, or the only time where you can at least drink a sip of water or something like this, because otherwise you have all the time both hands on the keyboard and the mouse, and because the layout of the game is the movement layout of the game is a little bit weird. You have to swap both hands all the time, left hand, right hand, keyboard, mouse, bam bam bam. Quite cool. It's interesting to learn, but I highly recommend changing the default configurations. Yeah, here once again, moving to this elevator part, Luther alone isn't heavy enough, so he needs to bring 2 adult thingies. I don't know how those monsters are called. It takes a couple of minutes until those spawn. There are, I think, 3 big ones and 3 little ones. I don't know how many little ones you need to activate the elevator. However, 2 big ones are sufficient. The first two that enter the area on the right and on the left side are both big ones, so those 2 are enough to activate the elevator. However, you need somehow a little bit of luck that they actually follow you and yeah, move on the platform. You can kill them and drag them on the platform, but apparently they are heavy as shit, because it takes a really long time to drag them. It is even slower dragging those monsters than dragging the corpse of the other guy, so I don't know what's going on there. But yeah, finally we are at the City of the Ancients, the second to last area of the game. Here we need to put 4 dragon cubes into some water to raise the mage tower. I don't know. Anyway, this is also the place where we need the ivory stones, ivory chips. We need 4 of them, so the 2 that are the least difficult to get, one of them is here, and the other one we will get after we put the first dragon cube into his place. And basically this whole area is consists only of different trials that you need to solve, or different riddles you need to solve to continue to the last part. Here, for example, there are 3 different symbols. One is stone, which you need to do a physical attack against, so it breaks. Over there we have fire area. You could, if you picked up the ice bow, you could use the ice bow as well, or one of the death spells. And for the ice thingy over there, you either need a level 4 or a level 3 spark spell, or any of the pyro spells. How many spells do we skip? There is a pyro spell, so the spark can be turned into Spyro as well. And we completely skipped 2 other spells. One is summoning spell, where you summon some imps, and the second one is prism, which blinds enemies, turns you invisible, insta kills illusions, which is only important for the very last part of the game. Which brings me to an idea. The evil path could be faster if there is an easy way to pick up one of the prison spell scrolls, which means that you could insta-kill Scotia on the evil path. You don't need to fight against Scotia because you're befriended Dawn here. Anyway, stupid me. You don't need to fight Scotia because on the any percent evil Luther path you are also still be friends with Dawn, and therefore you don't need to fight Scotia. The only additional fight you have to do is the Traracle, Anu at the very end after you killed Belial. Long time I wasn't aware that this game has two different endings. And also you have so many different lines depending on how you behave and what you do. The first part of the game is filled with dialogue. It's really amazing. I really recommend it. So, we did one cube, we get one ivory chip, and now we get the second, or rather the fourth ivory chip for the next puzzle. Yeah, here you only need to activate all 6 of those pillars, get the ivory chip, and then the room turns black, fills with water, so you will drown eventually. However, you can turn around using the compass around Luther's face, and yeah, by clicking against the wall you open the wall once again. And now we have 4 ivory chips, which we need for the next trial, quote unquote. Basically, collecting all 4 ivory chips is the trial, so we already done that. We only need to put them into the slots.
If only I could reach that.
Also, no! Oh boy, I messed up so many little things here. Sub 1 hour would be easily doable. Damn it. Somehow, I think I need to time it, but I'm quite sure that it is the case. This fire travels faster if you look at it. I really need to time that theory, but I'm almost 100% sure. It feels like ages for this fire to move to the door. If you don't look at it, it's just waiting in front of the door.
Not quite.
So now, for the next part, we need. What is the next one? I don't remember. The last one is that part with the water, right? Okay, now we activate the watering system in the ancient city again, and which is needed for the last of the pillars and the right. Yeah, the next one is the Bow of Darkness. Hit the orb twice with some kind of ice spell, either with this spell or if you collected the ice bow, this works as well. And now this part is flooded again with water. And also, if you would stay here, or wait a little while, or activate the trigger, you need to activate the trigger actually, then the some flowers would bloom. Lichen, I think they are called. I'm not 100% sure though. Which heal quite a bit of HP if you use them, and also you can use it to craft, for example, the petrifying stone. Yeah. In this part, you only one of the doors lets you proceed. And if you run against the door while it is not open yet, it will get stuck and close once again. And yeah, there is some oil spilling around, and if you activate this oil by casting spark on it, a firewall will start, which kills the lizard in 3 hits, and therefore you need to run out of there as fast as possible. The good thing is you can open the doors for the way back on the way in, which is slower, way slower, but way safer. Restarting this part would take a lot of time, so at some point I started to open the doors because I thought, ooh, this is technically way faster, but in the end you still need to wait for the firewall to reach this part, so the better way definitely would be to don't open the doors beforehand, but rather on the way back, which takes more time and is more dangerous, however saves a lot of time. A lot of time, probably, I don't know, 10 seconds, 15 at most. Yeah, on the way back, we traverse, oh, not really the way back, but we traversed the watering part again. This jump is really tight. Yeah, it's really interesting that at the last part of the game there are 2 extremely tight jumps, and I would have managed this jump if I did not pause the game there. Pausing the game means that you will reset your momentum. Also, quick saving your game will reset your momentum, at least for the lizard. For Luther, I don't think. I'm not sure though. Nah, quick saving and reloading the save will reset your movement to 0, your velocity. Yeah, now we're at the part, but this is the reason why we brought the second silver leaf. Oh boy, for my casual playthrough I really took a lot of time. Now that you only need to put the silver leaf here and activate the time thingy, which lets the silver leaf sprout, and therefore the silver leaf destroys the glass and the fire can escape and open the door once again. However, it only works once you watered the whole thing, which I don't really understand, because that part doesn't need any water, right? Oh boy, I need to look into it. Do you really need to activate the water? That would be quite some time save if you don't need to do that. Quick, give me a pen! Because you normally only need the water stuff for the other part, the other thing around. And there's a crystal, just like one of those, that you can touch, and this opens briefly the water flow to an area below. There you can put some of the lichen thingies in there, which sprouts a lichen again once you activate the time forward thing. And therefore you have basically unlimited lichen, as long as you activate the water them again and fast forward the time. You can, in this way you can create infinite of those. However, yeah, another really tight jump. Ah, nah, there is water in there. Okay. So you need to activate the water. Yeah, what I was trying to say is, however, for the middle piece you don't need to activate the crystal. That water is in there, so only activating the water flow is enough for the silver leaf to sprout. And fast forwarding the time, obviously. Okay, and now we are to the last battle against one of the Hive Lords. This one is, for me at least, the most common, so that's the reason why I save here. One that gets stuck in the dialogue. while trying to defeat him. Which will soft lock the game. Yeah, one thing that we can do throughout the whole run is obviously turning into the lizard whenever we can, because the lizard is fast.
Here we go.
Here we entered the, I don't know, some magic barrier shit, so that Luther now also gains the power of the magic of the ancients, and therefore we have a level 5 spell for our transformation spell, which we need to shed our curse, and with this birth, shedding this curse to the mother of Belial will finally birth Belial. Well, explaining it this way probably doesn't make a lot of sense. However, if you play the game casually and walk through the whole story, it will make way more sense. Here we need to change to the axe, because somehow slitting the throat of the dragon only works with the axe. It works with swords and with axes. However, it does not work with a dagger. I don't know why, but using a dagger here won't slit the throat of the dragon, and you need it to traverse to the last part of the game. Yeah. Here I was pretty nervous. Normally I don't open the map here at all. However, as I saw that I 1 minute ahead, I became a little bit nervous and didn't want to fuck up this good time by turning to the wrong direction once and ending up who knows where. This area is actually quite pretty large-ish, I guess, and as you don't have a lot of features or textures on the walls, it's really confusing. The only thing that helps orientating are the purple and yellow crystals once in a while. There are two possibilities: either you skip the cutscene and have a little luck, and the second part opens for you straight away, and if you're not lucky, you need to leave the room and re-enter the room so that the second part is open. Not able to hit a static object. The greats. Oh boy. Yeah, now we cast two spells, which is really important. First of all, the blue spell, which prevents 50% of damage, and the second one is the green spell, which prevents you from taking poison damage and from being poisoned. I didn't manage to jump up on the railing, unfortunately. But yeah. Without the green spell, you would permanently take damage whenever you enter this green stuff, and also there are some green monsters in there that will attack you. There should be two of them. Yeah, I mean, if you know what you're looking for, you should have been able to see them, but they blend in with the green texture quite well. And they deal quite a lot of damage, so halving the damage dealt by those monsters is important. Otherwise we would be dead now. Next part. Oh boy, one of my runs died there because DOSBox crashed. That was on a really great pace as well. There are those four, I don't know, skulls with horns floating around, and after you cast the death spell on all of them, they will summon one of Belial's imps, which we will attack with our newly owned Bow of Darkness. The Bow of Darkness has the ability to drain the HP of enemies, so that red orbs that are coming from this imp will eventually heal Luther. Yeah, those monsters have quite some HP, especially because we are pretty underleveled still for the whole thing. Thank God for overpowered ancient spells, otherwise this would not be possible. And yeah, used one more ancient, got one more ancient stone from those imps, and we're off to the final boss rush, more or less. First, before we entered this area, we skipped a cutscene where Bakata defeated the, how's it called? The Belial statue. And if you would not have befriended Belial again, sorry, Bakata again, this still would have happened. True. If you would have attacked Belial, Bakata at the very last part, where you saw him, then you would have had to kill Bakata first, then the Belial statue, and the Belial statue is ridiculously strong. Yeah, here we use our last ancient stone magic to cast the highest level of spells without using any mana. Here there is an illusion of your mother, Scotia, but with the, how's the thing called? I think Ruby of True Seeing or something like that. You are able to destroy those illusions. First of Scotia, and the second illusion is of the Triacle. However, the illusion of the Triacle is way weaker than the actual Triacle for the evil Luthor. Here once again, the Triacle shows up and boop, he's gone. This is the area where we also use all the crystals, otherwise we would have to bash the doors in, and this takes quite some time. And now for the final Lich transformation, you should probably save the game right in front of the Belial fight, because I'm pretty sure it can soft lock once again. But once Belial is defeated, we're done. And that was the run. 1 minute, 1 hour, 1 minute and 43 seconds. I hope you had fun. I hope I could explain some of the things. Yeah. Have a great time. Have a nice day. Bye bye.
What? You are so silly. No.
Hey, do you mind?
Jeez.
Excuse me, Luther and Mistress Dawn. I did want to thank you and say goodbye. My guardianship here is done. Any further troubles in these lands will be your concern. I am no longer here.
You have done well, Luther.
You've not done bad yourself, mistress.